women who are extremely empathic.
So that's why sometimes we don't feel so good when we're around other people, or we can feel great and walk into a building and all of a sudden not feel very good at all.
Right. You see, if you're sensitive, like a lot of children and women are sensitive, men are less sensitive, but there are a lot of them who are sensitive. When you walk in a room where people are very stressed, without talking, you know that that office is full of stressed people. You can just feel from the vibration of the space, and also you pick up a feeling of being nauseated or vomiting sensation, as like you cannot breathe, as if your eyes gets blurry, your head gets jammed. You pick up this feeling of being scared, or anything that they are exuding from the environment. And so that is where you pick up some of this negative vibration. Or if you sit beside a person who's very angry and frustrated without even talking, you feel sometimes that when you sit beside that person, you pick up this heat vibration that doesn't feel good. You feel like being drained, you feel like you're starting to be emotional, and you were okay before you sat down. And a lot of these attention deficit children or ADHD children are not always caused by their own hormonal or neurological, as a lot of professionals in healing this disease or discomfort believe in. There are things that these children pick up from their parents, from the school, or from somewhere else, especially if they're like the empathic type, sponge type, where they like absorb everything from the environment. Once you disconnect and disengage them from the source of negativity, they become normal.
So it sounds like people can have problems without any physical cause. Their problems could be almost purely energetic.
Yeah, there are different causes of diseases or disorders and health conditions. And the medical profession, they have mapped everything already, almost everything, with regard to the physical, with regard to the chemical, the liquid type, the blood, the urine, all kinds, and neurological. Now, unknown to a lot of them, even some of the brightest researchers, there are diseases that are picked up first from the mental levels, emotional levels, and then energetic levels, or energetic levels before mental levels. So to me, as a healing scientist, an expert of energy medicine, I have seen that a lot of my cases, there are sometimes more than 50% of diseases that are caused from the mental, emotional, and energetic levels before they physicalize. You see, what happens to your energy, to your emotion and mind, will happen to the physical body. For example, if you have a lot of stress, the body doesn't react first. In fact, the flight and fight situation, to me, is energetic first before physical. This ACTH that's caused the pituitary to secrete, and then the cortisol secretion by the adrenals, are chemicals, are hormonal. But there's also the energetic component to it that most scientists are not investigating, that at a certain level, without even the fight and flight, you're just sitting down, somebody comes in who is negative, without reacting, you just get stressed without fight and flight. So it bypassed the common standard idea that it is about the cortisol, it's about the ACTH hormone, it's about the fight and flight, situation. So there are a lot of unknown factors that the medical professions are not still aware, which the healing scientists are aware today.
So can you actually prevent physical diseases from happening by keeping the energy system clear?
I'm sure that by my experiences, there are people that are starting to have diseases and disorders not detected by the doctor, because they go to some doctors, and of course in some places where the insurance doesn't cover every x-ray and every ultrasound, and in some cases where detection is lower than the gravity of disease, we can prevent it by extracting that energetic component that makes that part painful. Now, the case of some people, they feel the pain in their breast. The doctor must feel it, and there's nothing there. And so they say it's in your mind. Or maybe it's hormonal, or maybe you're just thinking about it. You're, say, psychosomatic about it. But at a certain level, in the 3 or 4 months, they're starting to have inflammation or so forth. But the healer would see first, or detect, if they are good healers and trained healers, that there is already an energetic disease, which is a congestion of reddish color, that is in the nipple chakra, or the nipple area, that controls the nipple and the breast. So if you can extract that negative energy vibration that causes this prickling sensation that even the person sometimes, this pain, and or the doctors cannot detect through urine, blood test, or tactile investigation, you can prevent the disease. And so this is where preventive medicine in the future will come into play, where they will have to learn energetic medicine or energy medicine or healing science to be able to prevent diseases really properly, rather than just eating correctly or sleeping right or living in a nice place, not in stress. That is still not preventive to me. It is more of a corrective to prevent disease. But the real prevention really is in using the healing techniques to prevent all these incoming diseases from manifesting physically. So to me, preventive medicine in the future will use energy medicine and healing science.
But energy medicine can't fix everything, right? There must be physical things that only physical medicine can address.
Of course. That's why for me, I'm very pragmatic, being a business person and an engineer by training, and having interacted with many doctors, and I have a lot of, say, students and healers who are doctors, I would say to a lot of healers who are fanatical, who are denouncing or who are rejecting modern medicine, that they need to respect modern medicine because it is still one of the most dependable methods to cure diseases. For example, I know a lot of goat healers who had accidents. So where do they bring them in emergency? They bring them to the emergency room. They have broken bones, they have facial burns. So to me, I salute the modern medicine, I respect the doctors, and the healers have to respect the doctors, because whether they like it or not, if a person has broken bones, they normally bring them to the emergency room immediately. So even a healer, if they have accidents, they tend to bring them to the hospital rather than to another healer immediately. So that's the case. Second, there are other components of physical diseases that are already very organically damaged. For example, if you have a busted, say, appendix, I'd rather bring that person to the hospital for surgery before it becomes worse, while doing the healing, even at a distance, than having to be a hero and saving the person's appendix was already burst and being poisoned. I would advise the person to go to emergency.
So in the beginning of your talk, you said when the two sciences merge, it'll be more complete.
It will be one of the most powerful solutions for health conditions. Also, there are different causes of diseases, and partly there are diseases that are caused by what they call karmic causes. In some instances, when I heal cancer cases like breast cancer, there's a time that I can do as much as alleviate the pain, remove the fear and the anger and frustration of the client. But at a certain point, if they have already hardened breast, it's like wood, you knock it on them and it's too hard already and it's starting to metastasize somewhere. I think that one of the best solutions for these people is to have surgery and to remove anything that really are already so contaminated with cancer cells, like some of the lymph nodes, to not spread the cancer further in a more accelerated, so you don't prevent the person to seek medical advice where it is most suitable. So to me, I would suggest both sides. That's why I said that the healing science should be regarded as complementary medicine rather than just alternative. Whereas there are diseases that energy medicine or healing science is an alternative to medicine, not complementary. But if they get combined, especially if you can use energetic scanning method to detect the issue before they physicalize as blood test symptoms or imbalances, then they can use energetic medicine or energy medicine to be a preventive tool, not only a corrective tool, when the disease is still energetically manifesting, not physicalizing.